Welcome guys, we're sitting here today in the Kingwin Esports Performance Center in Warsaw. I'm here together with Wunda, or John as his real name is, one of the founders of Team 7am and the big boss of the organization. So I'm just thinking we're gonna have a little bit of an interview, have some fun questions for him, some more serious questions, both for me and from other people in 7am, to see what we can learn from this today. Okay, let's just start with, tell us a little bit about yourself. Who are you?
So I'm John, I am 35 years old, born and raised in a town called Leicester, I've been involved in esports since 1999. When I started playing Counter-Strike, found that at a very young age, fell in love with the game, just couldn't get enough of it, loved the strategic feel to it, loved the realistic shooting elements of it, loved the tactical side of things, the teamwork. I don't know, it just connected. It was just kind of, I played a lot of games over the years as a kid growing up, but then, finding Counter-Strike to me was just, I don't know, it just felt right, and it just connected instantly. And generally, I fell in love, I was addicted. I couldn't get enough of it. Just
as many of us have done throughout the years. Yep. Games can really pull you in and make the best out of it.
Yeah.
So, talking about all the experience you have, we have a question from our Rocket League player, Renchiro.
Okay.
He wonders what the 22 plus year of experience you have taught you from esport.
Ooh, wow. Great question. I think it's taught me a lot, and I think we would go through a very, very long interview if we were just to go real in detail. So let me give you some small pointers on that. I would say the biggest thing it's taught me is that we have to support each other. Yeah. This ecosystem is a great one and it's growing rapidly, but we need to help each other, we need to support each other, and that's both organizations and players and just in general everybody. It's a very young industry still, a lot of people are taking advantage of this industry, and I think we have to stick together and we have to support each other. Organizations need to support their teams and the players. It's their job to make sure that the player can just do their job, which is playing the game. Everything else they need to deal with, and they need to make sure that these guys are supported from a mental perspective and just being there for them. A lot of these guys are young, they're kids, they're teenagers, they need some support, they need some help, they need some guidance. And I think that's one of the biggest things I've learned, is that my job is to provide that.
Yeah, and I mean, we can see it here today. Like, we're here together with the European CSGO team. The team is currently grinding, doing a lot of scrims and just making the best out of it. And it's a lot of fun to see the team come together as well, and you see how much they enjoy it and how much effort they put into this.
Yeah, look, these things are really, really important, and it took us a long time, and it's took me many years to be able to get to this position when we can do this. But this was always, and it sounds silly when I say this is a dream, but it really is a dream to be able to take a team and take them out and do different things. It was huge for me to take these guys to Philadelphia last year, to their first international event, and it just makes a big difference. It's proving everything I just said about what we do for teams and that's what we're doing.
Yeah. So if we're jumping over a little bit, 7am, you were one of the founders.
Yep.
So tell us a little bit about the organization. Why did you start it? What's the plan with it? And
so I guess why? Why is because of all the issues with other orgs. I've got this T-shirt many times over where I've been screwed over, and you've been the false promises, the fake promises. There's no support. You don't ever meet or talk to the people that own the organization. You're just basically a number or a name. You don't feel part of the brand. So I think that was the why. Is we can change that. We can do something different. We can actually make this work. And it just fell together right. Yoni and Vinny were playing League of Legends at the time for a different organization that I was a part of, and Izzy was doing the socials for that. We all felt it once again. It was fake, false promises. We're like, you know what, let's do it. It was right for me in time of my life. I was in a position where I could dedicate some time to this. I was able to, with support of some of the other senior managers, then fund the organization from the start. We started from nothing.
Yep. Super cool. What's the biggest motivation for you to like push forward with 7 a.m.? I mean, you've gone a little bit about it with just making a change on the scene and so on, but is there anything else that really pushes you forward to put in the effort, to put in the work, to push this ahead?
I think that's one of my main drivers, is being able to offer those opportunities. And, you know, I think the other, of course, I'm still competitive, right? You know, playing a game competitively for many, many years means, you know, that doesn't leave you overnight. So I'm very, very much competitive. I struggle to watch our guys play because I just can't deal with it. I'm too old for this. So I have to be careful with how much I watch. Because I just want to play and be involved. So, you know, it's still, let's go out and win this. Let's go and do it. But it takes time. And I don't expect us to be winning majors tomorrow. But we will get there. I have no doubts in my mind that we can be up there with a tier 1 organization with the others.
So we have a question from Johnny.
Okay.
You know him very well, right? So he's wondering, what's your favorite 7 a.m. memory so far?
Favorite 7 a.m. memory? Wow. That's a tough question because there's a lot of really, really good memories. But okay, I think, you know what, one of my favorite ones, and it didn't end great, but I think one of the best memories for me was in our first season in the Belgium League. And we made, I don't know if we made playoffs. I think we did. And me and Izzy, we drove over to Jonny's and Vinny's house, and we sat and watched the game on the TV with their parents. And it was a bit of a surreal moment, but it was a great time. You know, it was a great weekend. You know, we had a big barbecue, and it was just, I think it was just a realization of this is right. You know, we really have built a family here, because it felt like a second home.
Yeah, and it must be cool as well to like really see it in real life instead of like you're sitting so much behind a screen, like talking to these people you're working, but like really meeting in real life and seeing like, okay, this is actually happening. We built this together. Yeah,
and I love that. And it's a shame that, you know, they're not a million miles away, but of course it takes time to be able to arrange travel plans and stuff to go out and see them. There's never a dull moment when we're all together as one. It's just laughing from every time. Most of the time it's because we're all just taking the piss out of Jonny, including his parents. We all just rip Jonny. It's just kind of a done thing.
Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so we have another Rocket League player's question. Bram this time. So he's wondering, what's your favorite Belgian dish?
My favorite Belgian dish? I love the friture. You can't beat that. So I think for me, you know, it has to be just anything from that friture. You can't beat Belgian fries. I know I meme it all the time on Twitter just to annoy people by saying the Dutch fries are better. That there isn't a better fry than Belgian fries. There really isn't. So yeah, anything from the Belgian friture is always good food.
Yeah. Okay, so now we're jumping over to some League of Legends players. We got Bjorn. He's wondering why you stick to Benelux with the League of Legends teams while with the other teams you're branching out and like making international teams and going further away from Benelux. If we look at like the CSGO teams, like we've got an American team, we've got the EU team.
Yeah. Well, quite simply, that's, you know, we see Belgium and the Benelux as our home. You know, that's where we started. You know, Jonny and Vinny played there. And, you know, we made a commitment not only to ourselves, but to the Benelux community that we were going to stay and we were going to support it and we were going to invest money into the community. And we've done that. So I think for us to just, once we're in a financial position where we can move away from it, I don't think that's the right thing to do. I think we need to continue to support it and help it and drive it forwards. And that's what we try to do. That our goal was always to come to have other European teams. It was always to go to the NA as well at some point. I didn't expect it to be last year. I didn't expect to come away from Philadelphia with an NA CSGO team as well. But hey, you know, these things happen. But yeah, no, it's our home.
Yeah. From one of the guys here now, Luke, the EU CSGO team coach. Okay. I have a very important question for you here. Why did it take 6 months to follow back your team on Twitter?
Okay, I don't really know. I think, you know what, it's just I try to separate myself a little bit from from everybody as much as I try to get involved, and it's a very difficult thing to do. I think it's a very hard line and balance to find. I love all the guys, you know, in 7 a.m. But sometimes, you know, it's business and things get difficult, and difficult decisions have to get made. So I always try and steer clear from kind of, you know, doing this whole follow for follow stuff and getting too involved. So yeah, to be fair, I think currently they're the only team I follow. So obviously I'm going to get some DMs now, and I'm going to find myself following everybody, which wasn't the plan, but hey ho, there we go.
So Luke, I hope you like that answer.
Yeah, thanks, Luke.
From one of our streamers now, Emma Grues. She wonders if you can only play one game for the rest of your life.
Counter-Strike.
What game? And is it like 1.6 or? 1.6.
Counter-Strike 1.6. Doesn't matter. I'll play that for the rest of my life.
No hesitation.
No hesitation.
Quick answer.
Doesn't matter.
He knows
it's
what's up.
That's it.
Okay, jumping back to some staff questions. We got Relo this time.
Nice.
So he wonders what your take on the state of the current esport industry is.
Ooh, that's a really good question. Again, could be quite a long question, but try and keep it as short as I can. I think the state is good. I think we've improved and we've moved forwards a lot in the last sort of 3 to 5 years. And I think there's some things that need to change in order for us to take some further steps. You know, and I think COVID, albeit of course, you know, a horrendous thing to happen for the world, did push esports forward by a number of years. You know, it really proved and showed that in this digital era that we live in, if you don't have an online presence, you don't have a business. So what that has done is opened a huge number of doors for the non-endemic brands to go, hey, actually, we need a digital presence. Well, who better? There is no other industry that has been digital as long as esports have. So who better to come to? You know, you can go and spend money sponsoring a campaign on Facebook if you want, or Twitter. But you know what? You can get better results, better engagements for a much cheaper cost by getting involved in an esports team. Because they have a big communities. They're close communities. So I think that's probably the best thing to happen over the last couple of years, is that the wider world has this realization that esports is a good opportunity. But there's a ton of work to be done still on there, because it's still very young, and we've got a lot of young people who don't necessarily have the business expertise to be able to deal with this, which means mistakes gets made, which also harms the industry at the same time.
So kind of like going forward with what you're talking about, Reload also wonders, what do you think going to be different in 5 years in the esport industry?
So in 5 years, I see the esports industry, we need to move towards connecting entertainment. So as raw esports, there is limits between the number of people that are going to come and sit and watch, whether that be League of Legends, whether that be Dota, whether that be Counter-Strike, whether that be Overwatch, or whatever it may be. So I think what we need to do, and what orgs need to try and do, is also start looking at entertainment. So if we want to get a wider audience and a wider reach throughout the whole industry, we need to start entertaining people. And that's, you know, and we want these young gamers who sit and game. We want them to come and be part of our brand. We want them to follow us and like us. We need to entertain these guys, because, you know, just by having a good Counter-Strike team or a good League of Legends team is not enough anymore. So I think 5 years we'll start to see a move into the more entertainment space with esports. I think that will then start looking, the TV presence will start to come back. Not in its old school way, because that we know that we're not sitting in front of TVs watching TV anymore. But you know, they're also moving in the digital area. They're streaming. They've got streaming channels. There's still huge numbers in there. So I think we will start to see the rebirth of seeing esports on more national TV, which will put pressure on Twitch. And that's what we need to do. You know, Twitch monopolized the market in terms of everything, and you know, they're holding orgs back from making money for media rights, and that hurts everybody.
There's a lot to be made, and hopefully we'll see a lot of change soon enough. So one last question from Reload as well. If you can pick one esport organization, which one would you pick that does a good job at what they're doing, and you can't pick 7 a.m.? So I guess from it's tough, because
I don't really know the ins and outs of what esports orgs do and don't do, so it's a bit difficult to kind of say and pick one. I think I like what G2 do. I like what Fnatic do. In terms of especially some of the out of the box marketing stuff that these guys do. Some of the advertisements that they've done, some of the sponsor intros that they've done have been insane. But I can't comment on how teams are supported. I assume they probably are at that level. But ultimately, I think that for me is the important thing. And there's still far too many teams that don't pay players and screw people over.
Okay, so we're basically coming back to like the teams that create more entertaining content.
Yeah,
around their business, and
I think is needed. I think, like I said, there's a change coming. The wind is moving, and everybody needs to move with that wind, and it has to. We have to move in towards entertainment space. And we're trying to do that. If you see from the intro movies that we did for the League of Legends team in Belgium this year, we tried to keep it fun and entertainment, but at the same time saying, hey, look, this is our team, we're here to take this, we're here to win the Elite Series, but also, we want some fun and we want to entertain everybody while doing it.
We got a question from Sahira, one of our League of Legends players. So he wants to know, who is your favorite player in the Team 7am?
Who's my favorite player in Team 7am? So I don't know if I want to answer this, because I think that's, again, it crosses some lines, because I don't spend a massive amount of time with all of the players. I probably spend more time with the UK CSGO guys and the European CSGO guys than I do with any other team. And there's lots of reasons behind that. Of course, Counter-Strike is kind of my baby still. Obviously we were coming here, so I spent a lot of time with me and Oscar are doing some other projects behind the scenes with 7am and CSGO. So I spend a lot of time with these guys. I don't think I can put a name on it. I think it'd be unfair. I love everybody that reps 7am.
So we got a very political answer there.
Absolutely.
It's up to you guys to guess, but Counter-Strike. Okay, so another extremely important question now from Jari. He wants to know, who would you bring to a deserted island, Jari or Johnny?
Jari or Johnny?
Yep. If you could bring one.
I don't know. I think they both have some different qualities that would be useful. I think I'd bring Jari.
Yep.
Because Johnny likes to sleep too much. He's always ill, and he's always asleep. So I just feel like it would be me on my own trying to collect the wood and to survive while Johnny's sleeping or is not very well. So Jari, definitely.
Okay.
Sorry, Johnny.
Okay, so do you have any tips for people that maybe like just starting esport organization or want to start an esport organization? Like nowadays they see how this is growing bigger and bigger. Like what would your first couple of tips be?
I think the first tips is, actually I give these tips out a lot, is don't give away stuff for free. You need to see yourself as a digital billboard. That's what esports organizations are, right? We don't have a product on the shelf. We don't have a service that you can buy from the website and just purchase. We're digital billboards, ultimately. We're a marketing agency, a marketing service. We can engage our fans, engage our community with activations or sponsorships. And so don't give stuff away for free. The biggest mistake I see these teams and orgs make, and I get why they're doing it, is that they go and get an affiliate sponsor, or they go get some jerseys and someone gives them a 10% discount, and they stick their logo everywhere, all over their jerseys, all over their Twitter and socials, and you're just giving it away for free. Don't give anything away for free. You need to, there's a value attached to that. You need to work what that value is, but you need to, there's a value that's attached to that. It doesn't have to be a lot. Go and speak to these organizations and these sponsorships, and you can offer them a deal. You can offer them a deal for free because you can get a case study from it, but don't just give it away for free with nothing in return. You want something. You want to do an activation, even if you do that activation for free to begin with. So then you've got an opportunity to go, hey, this is what we did. These are the numbers that we reached. This is what we did for you guys for free. Now can we do the same? But now I want X amount of money. And you start low, and then we gain, and we go further, and we go further. You use those case studies to then branch out and go to others. Ultimately, esports doesn't work without financing it, right?
Yeah.
Not everybody's got an investor. Not everybody's got their own money to be able to put into the organization. And unfortunately, at this level, 99% of income is all the revenue is from sponsorships, right? Yeah. We're not selling 3,000 jerseys a month. So there's no way you can budget for jersey sales when you're looking at putting player salaries together. So we have to go get sponsorships. Yeah. And there is 1,000,001 companies out there that can benefit from this. Just don't give everything away for free. These guys have budgets. You just need to try and way of find and get some. And most of the time it's starting at very little and proving your concept, proving your worth, and then taking a partnership all the way through. We took Very Matrix within our first year, and we're now well over 3 years into a deal with Very Matrix, because we're showing what we can do.
Cool. So hopefully you guys learned something from that. If you are interested in starting your own business, starting your own esport organization, and get into this fantastic world. Yeah. To wrap things up, I want to know, do you have any sneak peeks for the future of 7 a.m. for the people?
Sneak peeks.
Anything you want to share?
I don't normally do sneak peeks. I don't think there's anything massive that I can kind of sneakily give away. We're just going to keep working. We keep working really hard. We want to keep taking our teams away. I'm so pleased to that we've got our teams in NA right now playing this weekend. Izzy is over there in the US supporting the guys. Of course, we're here in Poland. For me, it's just to continue to do the same, continue to support our players, build these guys. We recently took a partnership with Alot for the sports psychologist guys, so that we can support from a mental perspective too. We can support from a performance level, because it's tough. Anyone who doesn't think it's tough doesn't understand. It's hard, it's pressured, it's high pressured, and these guys need support. So, I want to continue to work with Alot so that we can offer that support, and then we can bring people away, which is what we love to do, and just keep pushing.
Yep. Cool. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you got some funny information, learned some new stuff about both 7 a.m. and esport in general. And hopefully we can bring out more content like this in the future as well.
Absolutely. Super fun. Great questions, guys. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So thank you for watching. Have a good one.
Thanks.